And the competition as tough as it's been, Schultz couldn't afford to keep losing. Now Phillips had
able to see that, but he had nowhere to go and went down the process. Unfortunately, Hughes has been riding good in this 250 class.
Okay, it's Emig out in front, number 6 with Dowd, his Yamaha teammate right behind him. There's Brian Swink after that tremendous crash in the qualifying heat. Brian Swink in 3rd place. Jeff Emig has been steadily improving throughout the season. He's out in front right now. There's his mechanic Steve Butler looking on. Emig in 1st place, number 6. That's Dowd, Swink, Mike Larocco with a good start, and Kyle Lewis, number 15, behind him.
And this is good news for Jeff Emig. He's got his teammate back there kind of acting as a buffer right now. And last week, Emig got the whole shot, but Jeremy McGrath was right on him from the first lap on. But right now, Jeremy is well back in the pack.
Toying with 10th place as we see the end of the first lap. It's Emig, Dowd, Swink, Larocco, Lewis, Dement, DeHoop, Ward, and then Jeremy McGrath with Mike Kudrowski right behind him.
He's got his work cut out tonight, and on a track this tough, Michael Pichon has proved that with the right combination, you can come from dead last to win this thing, and I think McGrath possesses all the tools to do just that.
Right now, it's Jeff Emig coming off a 2nd place finish right behind Jeremy in his last race. These whoops now looking a little more treacherous as the bikes wear them down.
They're treacherous, but one thing I noticed is the riders are able to go anywhere on the racetrack. It's not a one-line situation, and right now Larocco is already starting to put a lot of pressure on Brian Swink.
Brian Swink making the move on Dowd as well for 2nd place. Brian Swink into 2nd place. Oh, what an accomplishment for this Honda of Troy rider who had such a rough time of it in the qualifying heats, and he's right on the tail of Jeff Emig.
Swink knows he's got to get around, put some riders between he and Larocco, or he's going to have company. And right there, Larocco goes around Dowd and is back on the tail of Brian Swink. This is shaping up to be a great battle for the lead.
Swinkster like DeHoop is from Michigan. A lot of fans on his side as Larocco really putting some heat from the rear on Brian Swink. Swink, though, holding his own pretty well side by side with Larocco, and he's got the momentum on the jump.
Over the triple, and John Dowd is hanging pretty close with these guys. You know, I haven't seen John Dowd up this far in a main event, and I haven't seen him up this far for very long either. He seems to be riding extremely well. And I think Dowd is another one of those types of riders, kind of like Pichon, where the tougher the racetrack is, the tougher he is.
Emig holding his own, but Swink is right behind him, and the crowd is going crazy with this matchup. They'd love to see their native son take over the lead in this race.
Swink has worked his way into 2nd and has actually closed on Jeff Emig, and Swink has the strength to muscle around this racetrack. Through that whoop section, he's just holding it wide open, muscling it through there, kind of like what we used to see from Jeff Stanton.
A big hats off to the mechanical crew for Brian Swink, too, getting that bike ready after landing on top of the starting gate during the qualifying heat. Brian Swink has had a good time at this track, especially when he was on the 125 scene. He won 3 out of the 4 125 events he ran in the Silver Dome, and he's holding his own right now in 2nd place. His best finish this year, a 6th place in Seattle. Kudrowski has moved in front of McGrath. They've got quite a little battle going on behind Kyle Lewis, number 15. McGrath trying to catch up. Here's the box. Oh, he knocks Kudrowski down, and then he runs over Kyle Lewis.
Well, he's a freight train. He's been winning all the races, and right there he runs over everybody. Watch, he comes in here, he runs into the side of Kudrowski, runs over his foot, then he runs over Lewis's foot and his elbow. I don't think that was, might have been his funny bone. I don't think Lewis thinks it's very funny, and now Henry's into the picture.
Well, that's one place, one time where the soft soil in Detroit will help you out.
Well, I think so, but it doesn't feel good even having a motorcycle running over you. That's unfortunate for Lewis. He looked like he might have been able to save that, and then McGrath ran over his foot and took him down.
Suzuki Field summary. Emig, Swink, and Larocco.
If you like motorcycle racing, you'll want to get the full story every week in Cycle News, America's weekly motorcycle newspaper. Call now and have Cycle News mailed to your home every week with this special television offer. Subscribe for 1 year and get 50 weekly issues for only $33. Use your credit card or just say, "Bill me," and make 3 easy payments of $11. Call toll-free 1-800-325-2925. Subscribe to Cycle News and just say, "Bill me."
Your pulse quickens, your hands begin to sweat when the gate drops. The BS Stones U.S. Supercross Series, May 20th, Cleveland Stadium, June 3rd, San Jose's Spartan Stadium, June 10th, Sam Boyd Stadium. Don't wait. Get your tickets now just by calling your local ticket outlet. The U.S. Supercross, sanctioned by the AMA, featuring the hottest rider on the planet, Jeremy McGrath.
I don't want a roof. I don't want a windshield. I don't want a vanity mirror. I don't want a cup holder. I don't want a shortcut. The Suzuki Intruder.
Your pulse quickens. Your hands begin to sweat when the gate drops. The BS stops. U.S. Supercross Series. May 20th, Cleveland Stadium. June 3rd, San Jose's Spartan Stadium. June 10th, Sam Boyd Stadium. Don't wait. Get your tickets now just by calling your local ticket outlet. The U.S. Supercross, sanctioned by the AMA, featuring the hottest rider on the planet, Jeremy McGrath.
Welcome back to the Silverdome. Art Ekman, David Bailey, and Jerry Bernardo working down in the pits right now as we see Emig still out in front. Brian Swink, number 10, in second place with LaRocco right on his fender. A good three-way battle up front.
I think LaRocco has the confidence to move around these guys, and right now he's probably keeping tabs on where McGrath is, and McGrath isn't even in the picture, so I think that might have something to do with LaRocco taking his time.
Whoa, Brian Swink, nice inside move, takes the lead. Everybody standing on their feet here in this Silverdome as they see their local favorite get out in front. Jerry Bernardo's in the pits with Brian Swink's mechanic.
Brian Swink just brought up a great roar from the crowd by moving into first past Jeff Emig.
Yeah, made a pretty good pass on him over there. It's still a lot of race to go, so he's got to relax and try and open up a comfortable lead here.
Tell us what the pit board said.
Confidence wins.
That's what we like to hear. Hope the best for you.
Brian Swink trying to regain the confidence he had a couple of years ago when he made the podium the last time in Seattle. Take another look at the pass by Swink on Emig.
Well, Emig doesn't leave a whole lot of room, and somehow Swink finds some and takes the lead from the inside. Then he flies to this roof section and opens up a pretty good lead.
You see number 25, DeHoop, another local favorite, in fourth place. Look at the line by LaRocco.
He's going high up around that berm, and he's able to get over that double right there. He's just trying to stay out of the ruts. The ruts develop all the way across, and they start getting deeper and deeper, and it looks like he's just working the track inside, outside, trying to find a way around Emig.
Swink, Emig, and a great battle with LaRocco. Jeremy McGrath back in a battle for fifth place right now. LaRocco is putting the heat on Jeff Emig. Good momentum, leaps by Emig. Can Jeff come back in the whoops? Now LaRocco holding on.
So LaRocco doing what he does best, moving through the pack, closes in on Brian Swink, our leader. As we take a look at the replay, Art, it looks like Emig just can't get over this triple right here into the corner, possibly the ruts, and LaRocco jumps right over the top of him. From our angle, it looked a lot closer than it actually was.
Still looked like a gamble by LaRocco the way he landed up near the top. Here's Jeremy McGrath moving into sixth place. McGrath has moved up the order a bit now, but he's still not riding as smooth as we're used to seeing Jeremy McGrath.
Well, as I mentioned in the 125, this track is making the pros look like amateurs. And it's not just the ruts, it's that soil. It's so soft, it soaks up all your momentum, forces you to be precise, and that's what McGrath is usually good at doing, but he's having to come from behind. That usually takes you out of your rhythm, and right now he's struggling.
Nature's way to put on the brakes, huh?
Oh, yeah.
Great shot of the ruts. Brian Swink hitting it perfect as he goes over the finish line jump. He still has a pretty good lead on Mike LaRocco in second place. Our third place rider is Jeff Emig, and then he's followed by DeHoop, Dowd, and then Jeremy McGrath.
And McGrath isn't that far behind these guys. He's had a lot of problems so far, but he can look up the track not too far and see the leaders, and that's got to give him inspiration.
DeHoop's best finish on the year was a 13th. He and Dowd both with good runs. This could be their best race of the year.
You're right, Art, but I think they're going to get dropped one more position because McGrath caught him fast. And there he goes to the inside of Dowd already.
Jeremy setting up Dowd, and now is taken after DeHoop. Swink, LaRocco, Emig, DeHoop, our order. The 250s continue to rumble here in the Silverdome.
This is you. This is the commercial you see. This is the number you call. This is the operator you talk to. This is the stuff that arrives. This is the number you call. This is the box that comes. This is the machine you get. This is the number you call. These are the exercises you do. This is the number you call. This is how long it takes. This is how many times a week you do it. This is the number you call. This is how your dog looks at you. This is how your pants fit. This is the number you call. This is how you'll feel when you're done. This is the number you call. The SoloFlex Muscle Machine, just $39 a month. Call now for a free brochure and video. This is the number you call.
The swarm. Creatures wrapped in multi-hued nomex. Their habitat is known as the pit. Intensely focused and intimidating, the swarm is the ultimate gang. They serve the king with majestic speed. Although they look similar, they wear name tags for identification. Why? We don't know. But it's probably a territorial instinct. NASCAR on ESPN.
Round 10 of the U.S. Supercross Series from Pontiac, Michigan. We're seeing toward the back of the pack now Jeremy McGrath making his attempt to get back into the competitive range as he takes on Todd DeHoop, number 25. This is a battle for fourth position. And write it down. Jeremy moves into fourth with Jeff Emig right in front of him.
We're around the halfway mark, and if Jeremy wants to win this race, he's got to make his move now.
Here's LaRocco taking on Brian Swink for the lead. LaRocco, great positioning. He timed it perfect. LaRocco, our new leader. Brian Swink in second place. Emig in third, with Jeremy McGrath now in fourth.
These guys both have a pretty good lead on the rest of the field right now. You can see there how rutted everything is, and it's really forcing these riders. Actually, it looks like they're riding a little conservative to me, Art. I've seen LaRocco and Brian Swink, for that matter, go a lot faster than they are right now, but they're going fast enough. They have a great lead on the rest of the pack.
Brian Swink trying not to let LaRocco get away from him here after LaRocco making the pass for the lead.
Brian's a fighter. He's the kind of guy that can respond to somebody coming up and adjust his pace and go that much faster.
From our Honda berm cam, we see them swing around and back to Jeremy McGrath now. Jeremy is on the move, approaching Jeff Emig. McGrath had labored by 6 riders and makes contact with Emig, sends Emig flying. That's a dangerous spot to be down on the ground as Emig trying to pick up the bike, and Henry comes back over the wheel.
Henry lands right on his front wheel, and you're right, he's in a blind spot right there. The riders can't see him. I'm sure the flaggers are on top of the scene now, but that was some scary moments there for Jeff Emig. Here's a look at what happened. It seems like Jeremy was committed to jumping that jump. Emig couldn't do it, and he just pushed the bike right out from underneath him. And then Jeremy did a nice job of dodging John Dowd, who jumped over him and the motorcycle of Jeff Emig.
So right now, it's Todd DeHoop and Kedrowski in front of McGrath.
So Kedrowski, who had lost a position to Jeremy and slid a few back, has gained all that back up, and now another mistake from Jeremy McGrath, and his timing is all off. This looks a lot like Atlanta.
Boy, this could have some ramifications as far as the point standings are concerned, with LaRocco out in front and Jeremy in 7th position. There's only 25 points separating the two in the point standings.
Well, that would take away about 11 points right there, and that's, like we mentioned at the top of the show, that's exactly what LaRocco's hoping to accomplish, and it could happen here tonight.
Jeremy's not going to be complacent, though, and here he's dueling with Todd DeHoop. DeHoop was able to do a nice job of holding the Kawasaki's back in the semifinal round, but can't stop the hard-charging number 1.
Jeremy's determined in this race to try to get back to the front. He's still riding pretty aggressive. He's making some mistakes, but so is everybody.
Yeah, we take a look from the Honda berm cam as we see number 2, the guy who snapped Jeremy McGrath's win streak of 5. He's about ready to do it again after Jeremy won 2. Now, Mike Kedrowski makes the move on John Dowd, number 14. Kedrowski, a slow start, but he's been making his way up through the pack.
Well, Pontiac has its way of really making races kind of turn out weird. And I can remember getting a bad start, falling down 3 times, and still getting a 6th. So it's really odd. Mike Craig right there was dead last. Remember that? He was dead last in the first corner. Now he's running third.
Outstanding performance by Michael Craig, who's been very smooth ever since that first turn mishap with Ryan Hughes when he went down right in front of Ryan. And Ryan is not too far behind these two. Mike Kudrowski had 2 fourth-place finishes after his 3rd straight Daytona victory, trailing number 19, Michael Craig. Let's go down to Jerry Bernardo in the pits with the Honda of Troy team.
Mike Craig's running in 3rd right now with one of the factory Kawasaki boys, Mike Kudrowski, behind him. Is it another case of what DeHoop did earlier? Think he'll be able to hold him off?
I don't think he's worried about holding him off. He knows he can beat him. He ain't worried about who's behind him. He just has to go in front of him and worry about who's in front of him and pass them. Behind him is no problem.
That's smart racing.
Yeah.
Number 7, Mike Kudrowski, currently in 4th position, but is riding very smooth. His teammate, Mike LaRocco, still out in front. In fact, he's pulling a pretty good lead. Here's John Dowd and Jeremy McGrath. This is a battle for 6th spot.
McGrath has had a pretty wild ride so far. He was as far up as 4th at one point, and here he is trying to get past Dowd again. And big mistake by Jeremy. And you know, LaRocco's out there leading this race, and this is really good news. When Jeremy has a bad day, boy, he has a bad day. Here's a replay. He just got crossed up in the ruts, and then he hit more ruts, and he was lucky to stay on the racetrack.
Jeremy McGrath, with 7 wins on the year, has missed the podium twice, the 7th place at Daytona and the 4th place in Atlanta. Right now, number 1 is in 6th position as we take a look at the Suzuki field summary. LaRocco, Swink, Craig, and Kudrowski out in front.
When you're done exploring the high points of these 95 Suzukis, make sure you check out the low points. 9.9% financing, 0 down on some of our best bikes. And another high point, you could win a Suzuki 4-door Sidekick or other prizes during our Customer Appreciation Day sweepstakes for a limited time. See your Suzuki motorcycle dealer now.
Jumpin', jammin', smashin', crashin', floorin', soarin'. Experience the high-flying world of Supercross like never before. Call now to order Supercross Thrills and Spills, the video that captures the highs and the lows of the world's top riders. Endless Endo's roughest rivalries, biggest bloopers, and fantastic finishes. Can't miss action for the can't miss price of $19.95 plus shipping and handling. Call 1-800-225-5222 and order Supercross Thrills and Spills. All major credit cards accepted. Call now.
This NHL season, it's all crunch time. So when they ice it, hook it, save it, stick it, stop it, play it, and score it, you'll need to know. NHL Tonight on ESPN2. News, features, and highlights. Sports Center for the hockey addict. Tuesday through Saturday at 11:30 p.m. As the clock winds down, the season heats up on ESPN2.
We're back in the Silverdome. Art Ekman, David Bailey, and Jerry Bernardo as we're taking a look at Jeremy McGrath. This has not been his night. Mike LaRocco has a gigantic chance of picking up many points on the leader, Jeremy McGrath. Well, LaRocco is out in front as McGrath is taking John Dowd, now moving into 5th position.
John Dowd, as he came through the corner before that triple, just about went over the handlebars twice on the double jumps, couldn't do the triple, and Jeremy was able to just jump it. It really wasn't anything spectacular on Jeremy's part there. He just took advantage of the mistakes by Dowd.
Jeremy, though, is going to have to smooth out his ride and pick up some seconds if he's going to catch the rampaging number 2 LaRocco.
You know, I think Jeremy's pretty patient on nights like this. He realizes it's not coming together. He's not going to stress out about it. He'll just salvage all the points he can. He realizes he woke up on the wrong side of the bed, and you know, if he tries any harder, he might end up on the ground and lose even more points. So he'll probably just take it in from here.
Kudrowski, fighting back from early troubles, goes after Craig with 5 laps to go in the race. This is the battle for 3rd. Number 7 and number 19. Kudrowski with a good, clean move.
Good, clean move. We've seen a lot of passing there tonight. That's where Swink took the lead over Emick right there. And now Kudrowski, who was once behind Jeremy all the way back in like 10th, 11th place, has found himself in 3rd spot.
Under his new mechanic, Brian Lennis, Mike Kudrowski's been trying all kinds of new techniques to try and get his speed up to Supercross standards. We all know he's got a rough and tough, nice style in the outdoors with his many championships. Right now, he's looking for his 4th podium appearance. Let's go to Jerry.
never say die attitude. Just put Mike K into third. Looking good.
He's looking pretty good. Plus, Swink is not that far in front of him, so there's 3 laps left coming up, so we'll see what happens there.
We like to hear positive thinking, but you never know with this crazy motocross stuff.
No, especially a track like this is like a cider bike.
That's it. Thanks.
Right. What was he talking about, David?
I have no idea.
Out in front, number 2, as we go through the lappers now, is Mike LaRocco. Look at that huge rut that he avoided before coming onto our Honda stopwatch to check the interval now. First, a big lead now from Mike LaRocco on Brian Swink. If there's a battle to be had here, it's probably going to be between Brian Swink and this man in third, number 7, Mike Kudrowski. Pontiac over the years has really had some loyal fans. In fact, they used to have 2 races in back-to-back days in the Silver Dome.
They'd fill that place for both nights. I remember getting out of there at probably 12:30 at night. It was during daylight savings where we set the clocks ahead, then we'd race Sunday morning. It was brutal in terms of the physical consequences over the weekend.
But you were one of only a few riders, David Bailey, to win back-to-back victories there in Pontiac. I guess the king of Pontiac is Bob Hanna, of course, with 9 wins, and he swept both ends 3 times.
Well, Hanna's the king of riding in difficult situations, and that's what Pontiac has always produced. And the other 2 riders that have been able to win both nights, Damon Bradshaw and Rick Johnson.
Ah, you brought up a name who's practicing and testing again, Damon Bradshaw.
Well, I would love to see that. That'd be like Michael Jordan returning to basketball. I'd love to watch Damon ride. He's the guy that'll get in there and mix it up with these guys. And here comes LaRocco, 1:09 for a lap time. It's a lot longer than usual because they go up into the grandstands, adds a little extra time.
And I would imagine because of the ruts that we're experiencing in the Suzuki Field summary, LaRocco and Swink still 1 and 2.
When you're done exploring the high points of these 95 Suzukis, make sure you check out the low points. 9.9% financing, 0 down on some of our best bikes. And another high point, you could win a Suzuki 4-door Sidekick or other prizes during our Customer Appreciation Day sweepstakes for a limited time. See your Suzuki motorcycle dealer now.
Your pulse quickens. Your hands begin to sweat when the gate drops. The BS stops. U.S. Supercross Series. May 20th, Cleveland Stadium. June 3rd, San Jose, Spartan Stadium. June 10th, Sam Boyd Stadium. Don't wait. Get your tickets now just by calling your local ticket outlet. The U.S. Supercross, sanctioned by the AMA. Featuring the hottest rider on the planet, Jeremy McGrath.
I'm ready for the playoffs.
This edition of ESPN Speed World is brought to you by Honda, the winner of the last 7 Supercross championships. Honda, come ride with us. And by Suzuki. We've got the ride you've been waiting for and the financing to get it. Final laps now here at the Silver Dome for the 250 championship. Brian Swink holding his own in second place, while Mike LaRocco has pulled a tremendous lead, and looks like the checkers would be all his unless there's an accident that happens somewhere along the line. But Brian Swink has done very well in keeping his pacing in front of Mike Kudrowski. Number 11, Larry Ward, having his problems throughout the day. You know, David, since San Diego, where he took a second place in a race which he really looked like a factory rider, had it written all over it anyway, Ward has shown the signs of really losing the edge. After hitting the podium in the first 5 races, a 6th, a 5th, a 5th, a 5th, and then he's in double digits here today. What's wrong?
Well, I think he's, you know, it's mental. This thing is so much mental. He's proved he has the ability to ride really good and beat all the factory riders, but mentally, if you dip below the standards of what made you so successful in the beginning, then all of a sudden you find yourself settling for something instead of going out and demanding it. And right now, he's protecting something rather than going out and grabbing it.
Mike LaRocco on the final lap. Mike LaRocco with a big lead. Brian Swink in second place, number 10. And he's got a pretty good lead on Mike Kudrowski in third place.
He's done a good job. I've seen Brian Swink run near the front, and he showed incredible speed. The guy can jump just about anything, but he always makes mistakes. And tonight, mistake-free on a track where everyone's been making mistakes. It's a pretty impressive ride.
Our hats off here to Mike LaRocco. This would be his second win of the season. He's only been off the podium twice, a 4th in Orlando and an 8th in Anaheim. And he has been very persistent. And even though he's had a lot of problems, they had to rebuild his bike after one heat qualification this year, but he came back to get on the podium that night.
I've mentioned before, and I've drawn the comparison between LaRocco and Rick Johnson. They kind of look the same on the motorcycle. Even right there, they kind of look the same. And also, they're fighters, and they never give up. One thing, Rick Johnson, you knew he would never leave you alone. He would never give up. Even if he was way back with no chance of winning, he's still going for it. Sometimes that forces riders into mistakes. And right now, he is knocking on the door for this championship title.
Mike LaRocco, as he approaches the checkered flag, will cut into Jeremy's point lead considerably here tonight in the Silver Dome. Mike Kudrowski coming across the finish line in third place. Right in front of him was Brian Swink, and a great ride for Brian. Number 10 Swinkster. It's his first podium since Seattle of 1993, and coming off that big crash during qualifying, picked himself up, got bruised, got the bike back together, and took a second place. 5 more races on the season, and that is time for Mike LaRocco to sneak into that championship picture.
You bet. I don't want to predict anything, but I definitely think that McGrath has got to be nervous and threatened by Mike LaRocco. When McGrath has a bad night, he finishes way back, and that's good news for Mike.
Our official results: LaRocco, Swink, Kudrowski, Craig in 4th, McGrath taking a 5th place, Dowd finishing up 6th. A fine run for him. Doug Henry coming back for a 7th. Let's go down to Jerry Bernardo.
Numac just said you were riding like the Swinkster for a change. What do you think about that?
Yeah, it's true. You know, I know what I've been doing all along. I go out on the track and I get bored or something, and I don't focus ahead, and I just ride around. I put out about 50-60%. If I give 100% every weekend, you know, like I used to, if I can make myself do that, I can be in the top 5 whether I start first or last, I think, you know. I think I'm just as fast as anybody out there, and that's what it's going to take.
I think there's 2 big points about tonight. One was a pretty horrendous crash on the starting gate. How did that affect you at all during the main?
No, not a bit. It hurt my knee a little bit, but you know how it is. You get out there, adrenaline gets pumping, and who cares, you know? You got a little. If it hurts real bad, you know, it'll hurt you, but it wasn't much at all.
And the second one, a big night for Honda of Troy.
Yeah, real big. You know, they got 2 guys on the podium in the 125 class, and I think tonight we proved, you know, that Honda of Troy means business. We're good, and we just got to work on consistency, me and Craig, and getting up there every weekend, because we can win one, I think.
All right.
McGrath with only a 16-point lead. LaRocco with high hopes. Kudrowski pulling away from Ward, while Emig is on the climb.
Mike, like I always say, you don't like to lose, and tonight wasn't one of those nights because you won the main here at the Silver Dome.
Yeah, it was definitely a race I needed to win. You know, I got some points back, and you know, I'm just tired of seeing Jeremy win. And you know, I got my Kawasaki out front, and you know, I really just rode a smooth race. It ran real good, and you know, I just kind of took it easy.
You had a good lead right near the end. Did you let off at all, or were you just still hammering down?
No, I really just kind of rode it in. I made sure I got in the ruts and did the major obstacles, and you know, I could take it easy. And for a change, it was nice.
All right, thanks, Mike. Good job.
Thanks.
With Mike Kudrowski's 3rd place finish here tonight, it is the 5th race in a row he's landed in the top 4. And Jerry Bernardo is with MK right now.
All right, Mike Kudrowski, you got to be happy with a couple of Team Kawasaki's up on the podium.
Yeah, you know, that's I've been running 4th the last few weekends and stuff, and I just wanted to get up on the victory podium this weekend. And I was running good, and me and McGrath tangled, and I ended up, my bike went into neutral. I fell over in a bull turn and got back up and just rode hard the whole time, and a lot of guys made a lot of mistakes. It was a real ruddy track, and, you know, I think that was my advantage tonight.
Okay, Mike just told me, Mike LaRocco said he's kind of sick of seeing Jeremy win. Are you in the same boat?
Yeah, you know, I mean, he's won a lot of races, and he rides really good. And, you know, he went down tonight, and, you know, it's just tough luck. Maybe he's having some of the luck the other guys are.
So, David, LaRocco just won't go away.
Well, that's true, but every time he gets close, Jeremy wins 2 or 3 in a row and puts it right back out of reach. So it's all up to Jeremy now to see if he can do that again.
Art Ekman